How are you doing? I am doing as good as ever, and I have something to tell you. You see, I'm connecting the dots. I'm making sense of it all. I'm seeing what they didn't want us to see, and that is Wander from the amazing show Wander Over Yonder, and the Doctor from the amazing show Doctor Who. They're the same person. I don't know if you can tell, but I am a big nerd. The hugest nerd of all the nerds. I'm the nerd to all nerds. Not really. There's probably nerdier people out there. All my nerds watching me, I support y'all and I love you all. Because who else would click on a video about Wander Over Yonder, some obscure Disney show, and, well, Doctor Who, a not so obscure show, other than nerds? So, fellow nerds, welcome to my channel. If you haven't seen me before, I'm Ever Bearkins. Just call me Ever. You don't have to say my full illegal name. If you don't know anything about Doctor Who or Wander Over Yonder is it's way less known than other shows. It's pretty obscure, but it still has a fan base, and I am part of it, and I'm very proud because it's a good show. It is my childhood. It practically raised me. It has a lot of good messages in it, like Wander. His whole thing is helping people, and he's just a very good, peaceful guy, and he's very silly and funny and always so happy and very supportive and friendly and just all these good things. I watched the show when I was very little, and then I rewatched it a few years later, and it still holds up. It's still wonderful. It has a lot of good messages, and it just spreads positivity. So does Doctor Who. Doctor Who is really a childhood show for me. I watched it first time when I was 11 or 12. Now I'm rewatching it. I'm currently on season 6. But yeah, these two shows are really just, they're my life. I based my whole personality off of them. I don't have a personality. I just ripped it off of these shows and these characters. So, welcome to show theory. It's a theory. A show theory. So let's start with the things that they have in common, and there's a lot, trust me. So the first thing, they're both aliens that travel through space. The Doctor also travels through time, but we'll touch on that later. They just wander, get it? 'Cause wander over yonder. Not going anywhere specifically, they just go from place to place, not looking for a home or place to stay or anything, just looking around and enjoying life, because they sure do have a long life. The Doctor, we know, is around 900 years old or older, and Wander is also an ancient being from what we know from a legend from season 2. This legend is actually a major piece of evidence that makes me connect these two characters. So both Wander and the Doctor are really old creatures, and we don't know how old they are. They're both aliens. They travel through space. They both have a female companion. So Doctor has Rose and Wander has Sylvia. Sylvia kind of reminds me of Donna with her personality. Another piece of evidence that I have, they are both very secretive about their past. About the Doctor, we know that he's from the planet Gallifrey with like red grass and orange skies, or maybe the other way around, and that he fought in a time war. A bunch of things happened, but he doesn't like to share it a lot. And Wander doesn't share about his past at all. All we know is, again, going back to that one episode in season 2, where there is a legend about who Wander is, who this big hero who is going to save the universe from the bad guys. This legend talks about him being an ancient being who is, we don't know how old, maybe 100, maybe 1,000, maybe a trillion, bazillion years old. I'll just suppose that Wander and the Doctor are the same age because they're the same person, because that's what my theory is. Another point is that the Doctor and Wander have very similar personalities. They're both very happy and jovial and silly and goofy and funky on the surface, but deep down below they have some trauma that they're hiding because it is so dark and awful that nobody should be suffering from their trauma, the Doctor's or Wander's trauma. Okay, so Doctor, he reveals his story more and more kind of throughout the show, but we kind of know the whole shebang already. He fought in a time war, and now he's the last of his kind, and he's all alone, and he has to survive knowing that. Yonder, we never see anybody of his species either. We don't really see anyone that looks like him. We see Sylvia's family, the Spornax. There's a bunch of planets with creatures of the same species, but we never see anybody that looks like Yonder, which I might be speculating. Maybe it's just aliens, they all look different, but that's something they both have in common. They don't really have a family, either of them. I think both the Doctor and Yonder, who are the same person, they both have a troubling past that they would rather not bring up because they don't want to burden people with their problems. Instead, they want to help them, which is a thing that they both have. Both Yonder and the Doctor, they want to help people, and they always try to prevent bad things from happening. They always want to help. It is literally Yander's quote. They're both peaceful, kind of like hippies. Yander is really pretty much a hippie. Not so much the Doctor. That's what they have a little bit different in their personalities, but I feel like that's not that big of a difference. Yander is just a very peaceful guy. He never uses weapons. He never hurts anybody. He has no enemies. But the Doctor, he does have enemies, and he has fought before, and he can hurt others if he has to, but he doesn't like to do it. If he has the option not to, he won't do it, but he has killed. Yander has not, well, as far as we know. But I'm sure there's some explanation. I don't know how to explain it, but maybe one of you can in the comments if you have any thought about it. There was another thing, the TARDIS. Here is a massive piece of evidence that I found while watching Doctor Who. It's the episode called The Doctor's Wife, where the TARDIS, which is the police public call box that the Doctor travels in, turns into a woman.
I just want to say, you have never been very reliable.
And you have?
You didn't always take me where I wanted to go.
No, but I always took you where you needed to go.
You did.
That doesn't give you what you want and only gives you what you need. Doesn't give you what you want, it only gives you what you need.
Coincidence? I think not.
There is a whole episode dedicated to Yander's hat. The hat is very special. It gives objects to Yander when he's in dire need. When he's about to die, he can just reach into his hat and take out some random object that is somehow going to help. And Sylvia didn't quite understand that. She thought it was useless. The hat is kind of sentient, but not entirely. It also has like facial expressions. It can smile or frown. The hat is giving her what she needs to find Yander. She just has to trust it. The TARDIS and the hat are so similar. Yander always has his hat, and he can never part with it. And there's an episode where he loses his hat, and he can't live without it. There's no other hat that can replace it. And the Doctor can't live without his TARDIS. They're a little bit different because the TARDIS is like a vehicle, and the hat is... The hat, you know what a hat is. It has objects stored inside. I just had a revelation. Can you guess it? No, that's not what I was thinking about. Okay, they're both bigger on the inside. I just got this. I don't know how I just got it. It's literally a quote from the show that is said so many times. It's bigger on the inside.
But it's huge. It's very small outside. It's just in here it's big. So big.
It's bigger inside than out.
That's because the TARDIS is dimensionally transcendental.
What does that mean?
It means that it's bigger inside than out.
Aren't you going to say that it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside? Everybody else does.
Oh, I say.
Explain to me how this TARDIS is larger on the inside than the out.
Why is it so much bigger inside than it is outside?
You know, it's actually bigger inside than it is on the outside. I know.
Well, it's bigger on the inside than the outside.
It's bigger on the inside.
Bigger on the inside, is that what you said?
The inside's bigger than the outside?
Yeah.
Much bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside.
Is it?
I noticed.
It's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
It's bigger. I mean, it's It's bigger on the inside.
Bigger on the inside.
Tiny box, huge room inside. What's that about?
I like the bit when someone says it's bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside.
Bigger on the inside.
Bigger on the inside.
Smaller on the outside.
Okay. That is a first.
It's bigger
On the inside.
Wander's hat, it seems to have no bottom. It's bottomless. They're both bigger on the inside. They're the same thing. Wander and the Doctor are the same thing. They both have a female companion, both travel through space, both have some weird object that is also sentient, but not really. One difference, though, that I haven't mentioned yet. The Doctor travels through time. It's a big thing. He's literally a Time Lord. Wander doesn't. I have the answer to this. There is an episode, I can't remember which season, is the first or the second one. Wander and Sylvia, they ran out of their orbital juice, the bubbles that they form to travel through space without suffocating. They find this old gas station where it looks abandoned, but they try it out anyway. And they accidentally get orbital that makes them travel in time. And so they get stuck in this kind of time loop thingy, and they're trying to get out of it and fix their past or their future and time travel. So maybe Wander discovers that time travel is like possible, and he later finds the TARDIS. This is where it gets really complicated, because where in the Doctor's timeline does the Wander timeline fall in? Because Doctor Who is a very long show, and Wander Over Yonder isn't. It's only 2 seasons and the episodes are pretty short. So is Wander Over Yonder, is it after the events of Doctor Who? I know Doctor Who is still running, so it's possible that maybe in the future they'll somehow connect it to Wander Over Yonder. Or is it the past of Doctor Who? But that doesn't make a lot of sense, because the Doctor always had the TARDIS pretty much, but Wander doesn't. Does the Doctor lose his TARDIS eventually, or did it disappear for some time and he had to travel in a bubble? Who knows? I haven't thought that far, but if you have any ideas, or if you have just any more theories that I could discuss about anything that you had at the back of your mind but you couldn't quite explain it to people, just leave it in the comments and I will try to research it and see if I believe your theory or not. Tell me if you think my theory is valid, or maybe it's just a coincidence. Maybe Wander Over Yonder was inspired by Doctor Who, which is probably the most likely thing. But it's odd that they have so many similarities. But I think that's it for this big rant. Now, let's get to the word of the day, because we have to be educated. We are smart guys. So the word for today is going to be ordinal. It's a noun, and it means a number showing position in a series, like first. I hope your day was good. My day was good. So I hope that the next day will be good, and the day after that will be good. I wish you a good day. Thank you for watching. Ever Bearkins, over and out.